This is James's supper for June the 11th, 2018, and I'm showing how to make a healthy and attractive and tasty snack for your husband. If you don't have much time, this takes just like no longer than it took me to spread the almond butter on the rye crackers, or whatever these things are called, these rye things that I made almond butter sandwiches for him with earlier today, which he did like, but as it turned out he didn't enjoy almond milk drinking it with, so he got just water to accompany this dish and smoothie. But anyway, I don't know if he'll drink the smoothie, but I do know that he will eat these. So what this is I put rye cracker on the bottom, and then I put some of those mixed spring greens, and then I put a yellow bell pepper slice on this one and a red bell pepper slice on the other one, and cucumber slices, white onion slices, then some smoked salmon, which I cooked because James actually doesn't like it raw, just as, you know, normal lox like everybody else eats it. So so I cooked it, and then I put some dill, fresh from my garden, a couple sprigs of dill on top. And he doesn't like salmon with tomatoes, so I put the tomatoes on the side so he can eat them if he wants to, but he doesn't have to. So I will just show you this package here, which I'm holding down from the wind. You get them in packages of, like, they come in this big package in the freezer section, and they're $10 for, and it contains 3 packages this size. So they're not very big, but you can definitely use a package that small in like the 3 days or whatever that you're supposed to use them up with once you thaw them. So they're one whole package, one of these whole packages, which I can't imagine a person would eat that much in one sitting, but one whole package contains only 90 calories. So that's the same amount of calories as one of those sandwiches worth of almond butter. And yes, this contains saturated fat, but this also contains healthy omega-3 fats. So, wow, see, there we go. I'm losing my, even though I'm holding it down from the wind, I'm still losing it. So this is still really high in sodium, just like the bologna was. And there's quite a bit of cholesterol there, but I mean, nothing compared to an egg. But look at that protein, 20 grams in only 90 calories, 20 grams of protein. That's humongous. And the ingredients: wild sockeye salmon, salt, sugar, spices, natural wood smoke. So just like with the other smoked meats, I think salmon would probably pretty much be the same as the smoked meats in that regard. So I don't think it's something that is really that healthy to eat, honestly. It's good for a treat every once in a while, but you'd increase your risk of the digestive tract cancers if you eat that all the time. So anyway, I think James will really enjoy this snack. It was very easy to make, and I prefer the smoothies. I think the smoothies are a way healthier way to go if you're short on time and you need a healthy snack. But that is beautiful, and James agrees it's beautiful, so we'll see if he likes it. Now, I did watch this movie, I think you were sleeping through it, weren't you? So you don't really know. But and I kind of watched, like I press play again to let it run through again, and I watched it more than 5 minutes of it, for sure. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was definitely very homemade. You can go ahead and eat. I don't need to show them this, but because I already showed them this. They know. But there was one scene where the campers were all combining what they had brought with them, because their horses had either run off or been stolen, right? So they had only what they had on them to survive with and try to find their way back. And the map was in one of their bags, which was on the horse. So these guys were pretty lost. But anyway, when they're pooling their resources, it was believable, the kinds of things that they were throwing into the center of into the pot. Like a pen and stuff like that. Anyway, so that movie, I might even recommend it, just for that one scene where they're combining their items, because it's kind of funny. And I like watching homemade horror movies. You may have noticed, I pick out quite a lot. Sometimes you come across a real gem that way, with the homemade stuff. The low-budget horror movies. I mean, they're all bad. How often do you run across a good horror movie? Even if they throw loads of special effects into it or whatever, it's rare, right? I mean, there's Aliens and stuff like that. That worked out really well. And I'm sure they put a lot of money into that. But, yeah. Not often does it matter if they put the money into it or not. Because, like James always says, it's really the loud noises that get you. That's what scares you, is the big crash or the silence, and then, what do you call that? I mean, it's like chiaroscuro for art when it's light and dark, right? What's it called when it's loud and soft? Do you know the musical term for that? Dynamics. Well, yeah, I think that's really what it's all about with horror movies, hey? It's the all quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom, right? That's not to say I like watching horror movies. They really scare me. I mean, James will say, he'll be the first one to admit, I really don't watch horror movies. I hide under the covers, and I'm asking him, okay, what happened? Okay, what happened? All the time. It must be terrible watching horror movies with me. But anyway. So how are those sandwiches in comparison to the other ones you had earlier with the almond butter?
They're both good.
They're both good?
The other ones I prefer, because the meat is a hard sell for me. But
yeah. But in terms of calories, this is way less than those almond butter sandwiches, because I'm only using one slice of rye stuff, it's not very high in calories anyway. It's only 35 calories per slice, right? And so really the only, like, vegetables, once you start looking up how few calories vegetables have in them, you may as well not even count them if you're trying to count calories. And they offer so much in terms of nutrition per calorie that every meal should have as much of those as possible. And so really the only thing you're looking at in terms of calories here are the rye things, which are 35, and the salmon little tiny bit, which, I mean, you saw that whole package was 90 calories. So the little bit I put on there, what would that be? 5? Like, honestly, or maybe 10? Not much, anyway. I'm going to go with 5. So those 2 little sandwiches, really you're looking at well, less than 100 calories, when the almond butter sandwiches would have been 160 for the 2 of those. So, and in terms of cost, that's so cheap, the wild salmon. You may be thinking of, oh, well, bologna's so cheap. Well, it's not. It's really not. And you're going to get a better smoked flavor off of that. It's more nutritious, and it will cost less to make what I just made here than to make yourself bologna sandwiches. This is way better than a bologna sandwich. So in terms of, like, you're going to get the same smoky flavor that you're going to get out of the bologna or this tastes better. And this is healthier. And this costs less. So why go for bologna? Just don't go for bologna. You need something fancy like this every once in a while, go for this. But usually smoothie, even though James hates smoothie. But you're getting used to them, right? Maybe?
I got a strategy for
Anyway, so that's the supper. I had the moussaka filling leftovers from my parsnip kind of creations that I made yesterday. So that's what I ate for supper with my garlic. But James wasn't ready for supper at that time, so he didn't. You're not going to eat the tomatoes, eh?
I'm going to put them on the wheel.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't like tomatoes with salmon. We found that before. But it did look pretty there.